Chai with Manjula, a show about giving, featuring non-profit organizations, social activists, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists who are giving back and making a difference.
Chai with Manjula is a show that is a must-see.
Welcome to Chai with Manjula. Today we'll meet two global personalities, Narayana Murthy and Sudha Murthy. Commonly known as the Bill Gates of India for his phenomenal success and commitment to social good, Mr. Murthy is a co-founder and former chairman and CEO of Infosys, which is a global leader in consulting, technology, and outsourcing. His wife, Sudha Murthy, is the chairperson of the Infosys Foundation, which works for the welfare of rural India. I had the pleasure of talking to them recently when they were in the Bay Area to support the Akshaya Patra Foundation. Akshaya Patra is serving hot meals to more than 1.3 million underprivileged school children in India, making it the largest midday meal program in the world. Earlier that week, Mr. Murthy also received the prestigious Global Humanitarian Award by the Tech Museum of Innovation in San Jose. Let's meet Mr. Murthy first. Mr. Murthy, welcome to Chai with Manjula.
Thank you.
And first of all, congratulations on winning the Global Humanitarian Award by the Tech Museum of Innovation yesterday. You made us all NRIs very proud.
Thank you.
And this is yet another example of you giving back and doing humanitarian work. Today you are a keynote speaker at the Akshaya Patra event. Mm-hmm. And 3 years ago when I talked to you, we were celebrating the 1 million mark.
Yeah.
So where does Akshaya Patra stand now in terms of number of children that they are feeding?
Well, Akshaya Patra today feeds about 1.4 million children.
Okay.
In 9,500 schools.
I see.
In 10 states.
Mm-hmm.
So it has made considerable progress in the last 3 years.
Certainly.
It is also an extraordinary program because it is a stellar example of public-private partnership. As you know, sure. Government gives about half the money. Mm-hmm. Third, it is a totally secular program. Mm-hmm. Fourth, it is a great example of how technology can be used in making a difference to the poor.
Right.
So when you consider all these factors, mm-hmm. I would say that Akshaya Patra is a stellar example of how the rich and the middle class can indeed make a difference to the poor, mm-hmm. and bring a sense of inclusivity, mm-hmm. in the country.
Okay, and what is your vision for the organization, say by 2020 or 2030? Is there another mark you are trying to make?
Well, I am a member of the advisory board, therefore the vision is set by the executive people in Akshaya Patra. And they have a desire to take this to about 5 million children by 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, it's truly an extraordinary target. And knowing the kind of people that are associated with it, whether it's Desh Deshpande, my former colleague Mohandas Pai, mm-hmm. or Madhu Pandit Das, Chanchal Das, Ramdas Kamath and others, I have no doubt at all that they will indeed succeed.
Now, why do you feel so immensely about feeding the hungry children? Is there a personal reason? Have you ever experienced hunger?
First of all, unless we bring the power of education to every child, I don't think we will be in a position to create economic opportunities for these children.
True.
Second, when you are hungry, you really have no way of understanding what is being taught in schools. So therefore, I think Akshaya Patra has an extraordinary ability to make children assimilate what is taught in schools and use that education to create economic opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
To your second question, yes, I have had the unique opportunity of being hungry for about 6 days.
Oh, wow.
In 1974, when I was hitchhiking my way from Paris to my hometown Mysore, and I was incarcerated in a room in a railway station in a place called Niš, which is a border town between what was then Yugoslavia, now I think Serbia and Bulgaria, all for no mistake of mine other than the fact that I was talking to a pretty girl, and a boy who was sitting next to us probably didn't like it.
Oh.
And he went and told the police that we were plotting against the great government of Bulgaria, or whatever it is.
Wow. I see.
So I did realize what it is to be hungry, and when you are hungry, you become angry too, because you are so upset with the society for putting you in such a situation. Therefore, I think all of us whose stomach is full today must remember how these children would feel against the society.
I understand.
It's very, very important to ensure that they have decent meal.
Now, coming back to Akshaya Patra, how can we replicate the model of Akshaya Patra so that we can feed all the children who are hungry?
Well, I think one of the good things about Akshaya Patra is that the executive management as well as the advisory board members believe that Akshaya Patra's work has to come to an end as early as possible, because the economic situation in India should get to a point where there will be no hungry children in schools. There will be no child which is deprived of reasonable nutrition, reasonable health care, and therefore reasonable education. So to that extent, I think while it's a great idea for us to say that the whole country will be fed through a program like Akshaya Patra, I believe that parallelly we have to ensure that the system will eliminate the need for such efforts.
I see. Now, 3 years ago when I talked to you about disparity in India, you said the best way to address it is through public-private partnerships. So what are some of the best examples of that partnership in India?
I think, I cannot think of anything better than Akshaya Patra.
Of course.
It's a wonderful example. It brings a set of engineers and the government. It brings a set of well-meaning individuals and the government. So therefore, I think this is a very good example of how efficiency and effectiveness can be brought to any government initiative through the participation of competent and well-meaning private citizens, while serving the objective of the government, which is one of making sure that no child goes hungry, that making sure that every child has decent access to education.
I see. Okay, Mr. Murthy, you are a very, very busy man and a very hard-working man. You have said it yourself. So to learn a little bit about you, what do you do to relax?
Well, I read.
What kind of books do you read?
Mostly physics, mathematics, and a little bit of English literature.
Okay, any favorite writer, author, poet?
Well, I think, Feynman's lectures on physics is a wonderful book. George Polya's book on solving problems is a very good book. John Gribbin has written a lot of popular science books.
Okay.
There are many books on computer science. I would say these are some books that keep me occupied. As I grow older, I find that it takes me more and more and more time to understand concepts. What I used to take an hour 10 years ago probably takes me a couple of hours now. So therefore it fills up time, and at the same time it's a challenge. And it puts me to sleep pretty quickly. So
that's good sometimes.
Yeah.
And are you into music?
Yes, I listen to all kinds of music, though I must confess that my primary or my favorite music genre is Western classical. But I listen to all kinds of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, your son Rohan and your daughter Akshita, are they also engaged in working for social good in some ways?
Well, Rohan is a fellow, after his PhD at Harvard in computer science. He's a fellow at Harvard, so he's a very, very busy fellow. Akshita is busy because she has just given birth to her second child.
Yeah, congratulations to you.
Thank you. She was Anushka, the second daughter, was born on 25th of October.
Right.
So she's a busy mother because the first one is just about 18 months.
Okay.
But in their own way, I think both of them participate in various things. Rohan started the Murthy Classical Library of India at Harvard University Press, where they publish classics from Indian languages on the lines of the Loeb series, where Loeb series produces Greek and Latin classics, and on one side it's Greek and Latin, and the other side is English. Similarly, Murthy Classical Library produces classics from Tamil, Punjabi, Kannada, Telugu, and all Indian languages. One side it's there, and other side it's English.
What is your message for the NRIs, especially here in the Valley, about social responsibility?
I am a great admirer of the non-resident Indians for a very simple reason. Every non-resident Indian that I have met, in every part of the world, whether it's US, Canada, UK, France, Germany, Australia, Japan, everywhere, Brazil, every one of these non-resident Indians has tremendous concern for India.
That's true.
Has tremendous affection for India. Has tremendous desire to make a difference to India. They don't lose any opportunity to make sure that their mother country or their country of origin makes better and better progress. So therefore, I am very grateful to them. I'm a great admirer of the non-resident Indians, and I would only say, keep up all the good work that you people are doing, and you have succeeded in raising the image of India because of your hard work, because of your smartness, because of all the wonderful things that you're doing. I would say continue to do that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much,
Thanks,
Mr. Murthy. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure.
That was Narayana Murthy, co-founder and former chairman and CEO of Infosys, and a generous philanthropist who is famous for his belief that the real power of money is the power to give it away. Next, we'll meet his wife, Sudha Murthy, who chairs the Infosys Foundation. Sudha, welcome to Chai with Manjula.
Thank you, Manjula.
The Infosys Foundation is making a great impact in the lives of people. So tell us a little bit about that. Which areas do you focus primarily on, and at what scale?
We started Infosys Foundation in 1996 and we work in 7 states. We help people who are really very poor. Without our help, they will perish. So we work in education, culture, to some extent medical health care, and we are very well known in toilet building.
Really?
We have built 10,000 toilets.
Oh.
We also made 50,000 libraries.
In the villages?
Yeah, always in villages, rural area.
Okay.
Then, for the last 16 years, we have worked in different areas, but these are the prominent areas. Then we introduced a scholarship program for the merit students with economically weaker background. So these are a few of our areas where we work.
No, these are all key areas. So tell us about the model. Do you work with the NGOs or do you work with the governments? How does it work?
Actually, we work with people. It's a very unusual organization because we rarely work with NGOs. We hardly work with government, but we ourselves go and work with people. We have handled 7 natural disasters like tsunami, earthquake in Gujarat, drought in south of Maharashtra, floods in north of Karnataka, and we directly work with the people. And because of that, I understood what my country is, what it means poverty, what it means a disaster. So we work with people.
Okay, tell me about the criteria that you use before you decide to support a project or a group.
It depends upon the project. For example, a project like education, where the merit is more important and the results are also easy to see. We work with sex workers.
Okay.
Their merit is not that important. If the child comes from that kind of a background, then we support their education. So depending on the circumstance, we make different criteria to select a project. By and large, with our experience, we can make out that where we are to help. We have certain criteria that we will never help anybody more than 3 to 5 years. So we have an exit policy. Otherwise, people will depend on you. We will never give 100% help. We give them 50 to 70% so that they should learn to live on their own.
They also should have a stake in it.
We never help any political parties, because we don't want to get into that.
Religion?
Neither religion nor language. Okay. Someone says, "Oh, I speak this language." I said, "Fair enough. You require one language, so you speak one language." So we do not work with the political, religious, and regional interest, but we work overall with the need basis. Work on that.
And how much are you involved personally with the foundation?
Oh, it's my life, I consider, because I always tell, like, every day is a holiday for me.
Wow.
I look forward to go to foundation. I love to meet people, and it has changed my concept of whole India, life, and my own philosophy in the last 16 years. And I enjoy my work a lot.
Okay, since you know so much about this area, which states would you say are model states in terms of addressing poverty, illiteracy, and other development work in India, and why?
I can say not model, but which state do better, I can
Right.
tell. For example, in my experience, number 1 state is Gujarat.
Okay.
They are very conscious about social work, and they are simple living in some great extent in their work. Maybe they have the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, such Vallabhbhai Patel and such people. Next one I consider, because in the state of Gujarat, I have seen that in such organizations like blind, deaf, dumb, everything they are supported by government, and they have done exceedingly good job.
I see.
Water harvestment, all those things they have done.
Okay.
Whereas the next one is Maharashtra. Again, they have a great legacy of Jyotiba Phule, Agarkar, Karve, and people are conscious about social work. They consider it's a part of their life. So these two I consider maybe a top model or a very good model to work.
I see. And how is the culture of philanthropy in India? Traditionally, people used to give to temples a lot and religious places. Is that changing at an individual level and at corporate level?
Yeah, because traditionally we always believed giving, which you call, quotes, dana.
Right.
So Taittiriya Upanishad says, why we should give. Danam priyavak sahitum, Shraddhai danam, Ashraddhai na danam. He says, Dana is your kartavya or your duty.
Right.
And you should give with love and affection. It is not that, I do a favor to you. It is not a favor actually. The way you get up, the way you eat, the way you dress, the way you feel essential. Dana is essential part of life. That's what Veda says. Again, if you look traditional way, there is a shloka which says 25% of your earnings should go to Dana. Whatever you earn, which may not be relevant today. So we have always had the concept of Dana, but in a different form. Okay, changed.
Right, and I also remember one line from the Vedas, Yagya Dan Tapakarm Natyajyam, which also commends giving and as a prime responsibility.
Today with the new money, with neo-rich people, I think the next generation is much more into Dana than the previous generation.
Right.
In my own office, I see, the youngsters come and tell, ma'am, the last 3 months salary before I leave, but it is for you people. I said, beta, it's not that way. You ask your wife, say, no, it is for you. People have left their car keys when they bought a new car in my office table and they go away. I think the next generation is aware of much more giving. And there is a reason, because previous generation had a constraint of money, constraint of
now there's so much wealth.
So much wealth, and the mindset also has changed.
Right, and you are also a prolific author, and one of your books was called The Dollar-in-Law,
Dollar Bahu,
which was adopted by ZTV also. So, is there a common thread that runs through your books?
No, I write different ways. For example, I have 9 novels. 4 technical books, 4 my experiences with Infosys Foundation, 3 children book, and 4 travelogues. So when I write my experiences with the foundation, they are all real, because the real life I realize is much more shocking than imagination. Novels are after all imagination and nearer to the reality. So I like more of my experiences with my work. Which made me probably a better writer, I suppose. You are a huge inspiration, especially to women. You were the first engineer at Telco, and you are teaching computer science, you are running this foundation, you are an author and busy grandmother. So who is your inspiration? Well, I think poor people are my inspiration. Because when I look at poor people, I always feel that I have a responsibility towards them. I am a daughter of a doctor. I come from a middle class family. It is not that I am a rich person's daughter. Money is something which never attracted me. So whenever I look at poor people, I always feel, maybe because of my religious background, I always feel God has given me this money for a cause so that I can help others. And I always feel we are responsible to help those people who are born in other side of the land without their knowledge. So they always inspire me. I should work hard. I should do something for them. That's my duty.
So it's a responsibility.
I always
giving back. And what does it do for your soul?
I enjoy it, because I really realize in so many situations, I have seen death very in front of me, like tsunami, earthquake, floods, how people react when death comes so near. And in this life we always assume everything is in our hand. Only probably 10% is in our hand. 90% is not in our hand. And for those 10% we should become, we always say we are achievers. There's nothing like that. Actually, I went to a hospital in LA and I saw this quote, which actually I liked it so much. A generosity of few, hope for millions.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I said that is so unreal in real life, that you don't require this kind of money. You don't need a golden rice. How much clothes you can wear, how much jewelry you can wear. There is no end to desire, and every desire will not make you happy.
But not everyone realizes
that. Their wish, their way of looking at it. There is a very famous shloka in Sanskrit. It says, what is beauty? It is not you dress, not the hair. Keyu rana vibhushayanti purusham harana chandrojvala. It is not the way you dress, the way you comb your hair, the way you wear jewelries. It is, if you are pious and good inside, it comes on your
inner beauty.
And I really believe in it, that if you care for others and you help whatever you can do in this life, because you pass this life only once, if you can show compassion to others, do it now. And if you do that, you will be very happy inside. And I'm always happy.
Wow, that's a beautiful message. And
Thank you.
Sudha, thank you very much for your
you.
time. I appreciate it very much. That was Sudha Murthy, chairperson of the Infosys Foundation, who has dedicated her life to serving the less fortunate, and she finds immense joy in her work. To watch this show again, you may go to our website, chaivithmanjula.org, or find us on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you next time.